and the demand forecasting modeling strategies. And the fourth step, travel demand forecasting models is this one showing is the little bit complicated for you. However, this part, developing the traffic demand models, is can be more expanded into this figure. Four-step travel demand forecasting models can be classified into the first step, trip generations and trip attractions. And the second step is to the trip distribution model. And the third step is the modal split, modal choice model. And the fourth step is the traffic assignment model. Then before going to the four-step methodologies, I need to explain about the socioeconomic frameworks. It means, as I mentioned, according to the traffic zone, how many populations and how many workers, students, and the number of car owners and motorcycle owners shall be prepared. Then of course, the population 2000 base year populations, so the census information can be utilized. Also, I'm not sure the barangay level population is available from the website. I need to talk with the NSO persons also. But anyway, so the populations in 2017 and 2024, and as a future 2035 populations shall be estimated. And for the population projection and the population in 2035, so the national census conducted the projection, but the only at the regional level projection was available. According to this result, population growth in Metro Manila, this blue color, is the expected to level off. But so the population was not so changed from the 2017 to 2024, 2035. On the other hand, the population growth in the region 3 and the region 4A seems to be so rapid, and the phenomena called as the urban sprawl can be estimated, can be expected. You can see then the dense area will be expanded along the northern side and the southern side. Animation するの忘れてた。I forgot about the decision. And if it is offline, I would like you to make an exercise for how to draw the vehicle ownerships in the last 20 years in Tokyo and Metro Manila. And you can see this result. In the Tokyo, the population, the car ownerships was decreasing from the 2000 to 2025. And Metro Manila also, the vehicle ownership in terms of the car ownership was not so changed from the 2005 to the 2024. Recently decreased and increased rapidly. And on the other hand, motorcycle ownership was increased rapidly since the 2000. And according to the data statistics in the 2020, the number of registered motorcycles is more than registered cars. So you can see it, and the Metro Manila seems to be the unique trends, and which the car ownership was the processed first. However, the motorcycle ownership was increased later. Such kind of chasing situations is very unique, and I have never seen such kind of situation in other countries and other cities. Then for the socioeconomic framework situations for the population in socioeconomic in framework in 2035, and I need to consider how the vehicle ownership will be changed in the 2035 also. So I'm not sure there is no scenario. For example, the government will restrict the motorcycle use, or for example, restrict the import of the private cars and with policy to promote the EV electric vehicles. So there as a tentative scenarios, I suppose that the tentative scenarios, motorcyclist ownership will progress later than the private cars, reflecting the recent situations in Metro Manila. So in 2035, more motorcycle-owned households in the Mega Manila levels, and relatively the private non-owner households who are supposed to be the main user of the public transport services will be decreased gradually. You can see that this white chart, white bar chart in this lower one. So the motorcycle users and the car users will be increased gradually, and the other who don't own the private car and the motorcycles will be decreased. Then if there are some socioeconomic framework was developed, then there's some need to go to the demand modeling stages. So that I have prepared some exercise of the trip demand by purpose and the relationship with the socioeconomic framework. This one is also one of the exercise. What kind of socioeconomic framework seems to be related to the trip generation and the trip attractions? And the trip generation and trip attractions is usually considered by purpose. Of course, according to the trip purpose, then the relationship between the trip generation attractions and the socioeconomic frameworks shall be different. And you can select the following the 3 items and 2 time zone. And for example, the 2 home and the trip generation 2 home trips is what kind of items seems to be highly related or not. 考える時間もある。じゃあ、ちかさん、can you answer?
The first one to home, population at daytime.
And the trip attraction.
Population at night. Trip attraction.
Yes. はい。マイク来てください。Yes, like this. Yes, Chika-san is right. So according to this information, for example, to home, the trip, what kind of traffic zone there is a high trip generation and high trip attraction shall be expected. And yes, for example, 2 work trips. Yeah, and there is a huge trip generation demand, where there are so many workers at the night. And on the other hand, huge trip attractions to work can be estimated at the zone, whether the lot of workers at the daytimes. So this area is, I'm not sure, but for example, you can consider this area is Quezon, and this area is Makati, and this area is BGC. Like this, there are so many workers commute from the Quezon city to the Makati cities, and sometimes some businessmen go to the Bonifacio BGC and going back. So they're considering the such kind of the local characteristics and the trip characteristics. So they're the applicable socioeconomic indicators shall be selected. Then the trip generation and attraction figure can be shown. And there, yes, so there, I don't need to explain more, however, showing. And they're utilizing the USEP databases. I just estimated the trip generation and attraction models. This models is using the very simple regression analysis, y equal beta x, and with the highly correlated socioeconomic indicators was selected as explanatory variables, as shown in the previous pages. And as the characteristics of these models, and the trip generation and attraction model was developed by the vehicle ownerships. Then you can see the car owners column and the motorcycle column and the other household columns. And you can find that the car owners showing the high parameter of beta over the later than the motorcycles and the other households. This showing reflecting this result reflects the nature that the vehicle owners make more trips than the motorcycle owners and other households. And this table showing the trip ratio by the representative travel modes in Asian cities. Top one is the Metro Manila. And the Ho Chi Minh cities, Yangon, Dhaka, and Colombo, and the similar trends can be seen. However, the motorcycle owners make more trips than other households. Then this gap is relatively smaller in the compared with the Dhaka and Colombo. And why the such kind of situation can be seen? You can see the Metro Manila and the modal trip ratio by the black one, walking trips, and the gray one showing the public transport, including the jeepney and the buses, showing the very high volumes. And this result suggests that in Metro Manila, so-called extensive or active public transport service industries support the citizens who don't have the private cars and motorcycles. And the gap in terms of the trip ratio is smaller than the other countries, including the Dhaka and Colombo, which is okay. And from this result, according to the information, and the number of trips from the 2017, 2024, and 2035 can be estimated by the vehicle ownership groups. And you can see the more large portions is made by the motorcycle-owned households rather than the other household groups. And for the motorcycle owners groups, they tend to rely on motorcycles, of course, rather than the public transport. So this result are expected to affect the future modal split in the Mega Manila. Then the second one is the trip distributions. Yes, so for example, according to this result, the trip generations by ABC and trip attraction ABC is available. From this result, from this information, how many is made from A to A, A to B, A to C, and B to A, B to B, B to C, C to A, C to C to B, C to C shall be estimated. And the trip distribution methodologies, there are generally three methodologies. First one is the present pattern. Second one is the model estimations. And the third one is the logit model estimation.
As the typical methodology of the present pattern estimation, I will explain about the Freighter method. The Freighter method is to estimate the future trip distributions through the growth ratio of trip generations and attractions from the present to the future. Then the Freighter estimations, the future trip generation, future trip distributions can be estimated from this formula. And there you can see the tables below, and the present trip distributions and the present and the future trip generations and attractions are given. Then currently there are 600 trip demand in total, and it is expected to be the 720. And then from this growth ratio of the trip generations and attractions, then the future trip distributions per each zone is estimated from using their formulas. Then from this result, the trip distributions between zone A to A is estimated from their growth from 100 to 108.39. As a result, so the total trip generations is 240, and it is matched with the future given trip generation. On the other hand, then the future trip attractions can be estimated as a 218.64. It doesn't match with the 210, the given future trip attractions. From these gaps, then the adjustment ratio, and it is called as a growth ratio, will be adjusted according to this formula. Then from this result, then the adjustment of the future trip distributions will be tried again according to the updated adjustment ratio of the trip attractions. From this result, the number of trip distributions from zone A to A is estimated as 104.23. Then when these values are summarized, then the future trip generation was still 240, and the trip attractions is 211.42. It is there is a still gap. However, the gap between the estimated future trip attractions and the given trip attractions is smaller than previous sessions. Then the trial estimations is continued, and finally, the trip generations and the trip attractions showing their matches between the estimated value and the given value. And this is their Freighter estimations for their present pattern estimations of the trip distributions.
Then this one is the measure methodology for the trip distribution models. However, there are some problems on the present pattern methodology, and can't cope with the change of the land use and the transport level of service. And one of the more important problems, if there is no trips for any OD pair, if the trip distributions is estimated by the growth present pattern estimations, the future OD is also 0. So in general, so the trip present pattern methodology is suitable for the cities that the trip patterns will not change in the future. So the short-term forecasting for the built-up cities is better. However, the long-term forecasting for very emerging cities like the Metro Manila and Bangkok or some so-called emerging countries is not so suitable. If you, for example, there is there are 3 zones, and there is a 3 traffic zone be there, and zone A to zone B is connected by by a bridge. However, the zone B to zone C, there is no bridge, so the people from zone C go into the zone A and passing this bridge is passing the river. So there is, as of today, there is no trip demands between zone B to zone C. But in the future, yes, if there is such new additional bridge will be developed, there, of course, you consider there are huge trip demand between zone B and zone C. However, if you apply the trip distributions by the present pattern methodologies, then the trip demand between zone B to zone C is still small. This is a so-called problems of the present pattern methodology. Then there's the second, the gravity models is to estimate the OD pair utilizing the Newton's law of gravitations. Yeah, and I'm not sure all of you know about the Newton's law of gravitations. However, there this methodology is what mentions any particle of matters in the universe attracts any other with the force varying directly as a product of the mass and inversely as the square of the distance between them. It's a little bit complicated. However, then the gravity models is to estimate the trips between each traffic zone, which assuming that are produced varying directly as a trip generations and attractions, and inversely as the zonal impedance. In that cases, trip distance and travel times or generalized travel cost. In the case of the previous pages, and there is not so huge demand among this zone and this zone. However, if the new bridge will be developed between zone B and zone C, then the zonal impedance seems to be smaller compared with the present situation. So the more passenger trips from zone B to zone C shall be estimated. So this is a more very simple explanations about the gravity models. Then I drafted the gravity trip distribution models and estimate the interzonal trip distribution using the distance between the OD pairs, and as an explanatory variables based on the gravity models. And then I will prepare the distribution models also by the vehicle ownership groups, and I just prepare each parameters, including for the K, beta, gamma, and alpha. However, the coefficient of the determination is R is very low. It means that this result is not so reliable. And applying the model to the entire Mega Manila area is not recommended. Why I say is you can see that this result. And I just compare the trip distribution utilizing the present pattern methodology, Freighter methodology, and gravity model. And you can see the current pattern model seems to be not so strange. On the other hand, if the gravity model was you applied for the trip distributions, the trip is more, for example, they don't want to go to the current city center and going to the various directions. So to the current, if the current for the demand forecasting, the gravity model was estimated. So the trip patterns will be changed from the current situation drastically. So I can't explain why such kind of situation was observed. So tentatively, I applied the current present pattern methodologies to the entire study area. As the differences, the Tokyo metropolitan area was also conducting the demand forecastings. In the Tokyo, hybrid methodology of the current present pattern methodology and gravity model was applied. In the usual cases, then the present pattern methodology was applied. However, for the major development area, for example, the new town or the new additional new area, so-called with some of the criteria, then the gravity model was applied, and the different models are estimated for each development area. And in the Tokyo, compared with Metro Manila, more comprehensive traffic-related data was available, so such kind of methodology can be implemented. On the other hand, in the Mega Manila level, for example, the San Jose del Monte or BGC area, and such kind of alternative traffic database is a little bit difficult to obtain. So currently, I can't work on developing the gravity model for the new town emerging area. However, in the later phases, I may try to develop the gravity model for the new emerging zones in the Mega Manila.